The Enron fraud is the story of synergistic corruption. There are supposed to be checks and balances in the system. The lawyers are supposed to say no. The accountants are supposed to say no. The bankers are supposed to say no, but no one who was supposed to say no said no.
So has anything changed in the last 10 years? And please raise your hands when you've had enough. Yeah, me too. And it doesn't have to be this way. What if the people in these circumstances had the courage and the skills to act on their values in the face of fear? I am, and we all are, vulnerable to situational influence all the time. It's just natural human wiring. Research out of Harvard on ethical fading shows that when we're focused on operational objectives and you throw pressure on top, sound familiar? The ethical implications of our acts will fade from our minds. Pay attention when people say, "This is business." Find out what they mean when they say that.
Welcome to Group 2's presentation on Chapter 5, Ethics Guide. Group 2 consists of Deborah Curtis, Logan England, and Jessica Finos. Our presentation this week is regarding what an employee's and company's ethical and legal responsibilities are when they find some part of the company is not treating everyone the same. You can read our scenario on page 134 and 135 in our class book. It begins with Mary Ann Baker, who works as a data analyst in human relations at a large multinational corporation. As part of its compensation program, the company defines job categories and assigns salary ranges to each category. For example, the category M1 is used for first-line managers and is assigned the salary range of $75,000 to $95,000. Every job description is assigned to one of these categories, depending on the knowledge and skills required to do that job. Thus, the job titles Manager of Customer Support, Manager of Technical Writing, and Manager of Product Quality Assurance are all judged to involve about the same level of expertise and are all assigned to category M1. One of Mary Ann's tasks is to analyze company salary data and determine how well actual salaries conform to established ranges. When she finds a discrepancy, it indicates a need to either adjust the category salary range, move the job title to a different category, define a new category, or train the manager of the employee with the discrepancy on the use of salary ranges in setting employee compensation. Mary Ann is an expert in creating database queries. Initially, she used Microsoft Access to produce reports, but much of the salary data she needs resides in the organization's Oracle database. She has found that although Oracle provides a graphical query interface like that in Access, she found it easier to compose complex queries directly in structured query language. One day, Mary Ann signed into her computer and happened to glance at the results of a query that she'd left running while she was gone. She found something that seemed odd. All the people with Hispanic surnames had lower salaries than the others. Although she wasn't looking for that pattern, it just so happened to jump out at her as she glanced at the screen. After she examined the data, she began to wonder if she was seeing a coincidence or if there was a discriminatory pattern within the organization. After many sample queries, Mary Ann revealed many different results. Mary Ann did schedule an appointment with her manager for the next day. After reading this scenario, what are your thoughts about Mary Ann's findings? Did she do the right or wrong thing by looking into the situation? Now here's the big question. What are an employee's and a company's ethical and legal responsibilities when they find some part of the company is not treating everyone the same? All employees of a company have ethical and legal responsibility rights.
For many years, corporations were only concerned about making money. That was the ultimate goal. Now, companies are also concerned about society's welfare. Corporate social responsibility is a business's concern for society's welfare. This means that marketing managers are interested in long-term corporate interests and also society's health. A new philosophical trend in social responsibility is called sustainability. It is the thought that if a company helps society through their business as a main goal, then they will reap success. Companies can look to solve society's problems by creating a product or service to fulfill a need, and they will profit and help the world. Other examples of products made by companies that embrace this philosophy would be makeup creams made from ingredients that are imported from developing companies to help their country's growth. Another example would be ice cream maker Ben & Jerry's, who pride themselves in supporting charities. Ben & Jerry's has been donating a full 7.5% of pre-tax profits to different charitable institutions. Sustainability's forward thinking revolves around creating new products that in the long run will create improvement over time in society's ills. A current example would be a backpack designed with solar panels to charge electronic devices, or 100% biodegradable recycled cardboard coffins. Another way that companies can embrace social responsibility is through a different approach called stakeholder theory. This theory's central focus is that social responsibility is really giving attention to every stakeholder in the entire company, whether it be the employees, customers, owners, suppliers, management, or the community. The following is how each stakeholder would view social responsibility from their company. It is a more widespread approach and far-reaching. Employees want to have a good, secure job and excellent wages, while management wants happy workers and profits. Customers expect excellent customer service and high-quality products, while the community wants a corporation to pay their taxes, offer their citizens good wages, and help support the environment by not polluting. Suppliers want their business to remain plentiful, and owners, of course, want a financial return for an excellent profit. The most common reason against social responsibility is that critics feel the main purpose of a corporation is just to make a profit for their stakeholders. Nonprofits should be the only institutions concerned about society, not a for-profit business. Critics state that for most companies to participate in a socially responsible way, they need to spend more of their firm's money, and in the end are costing their shareholders a profit.
Whether it's you or an employee that isn't being treated fairly like everyone else, the company may face some type of action. Nowadays, there are many laws that help employees to be treated fairly. One is the U.S. Equal Opportunity Law, which requires that covered employees cannot make any hiring decisions based on their own bias for a certain group of people. This includes gender, race, religion, age, disability, genetic information, or any other class of individual protected by the laws. There are many steps a company must go through. Good record keeping, a company must develop an employee handbook, and communicate any policy changes. There are many laws that protect you as an employee. Within a larger company, many organizations have resources that are able to help regulate these issues. You may be expected to speak with an HR manager in an honest and open way, which allows you to explain how and why you feel you or another employee is not being treated the same as others within the company. In a smaller company, your situation may be handled differently, but you should always be clear and open as to why you feel there is unfair treatment happening. There are also many things a company needs to do to protect themselves. Like previously stated, a company must have good record keeping, which can help protect the company should an employee raise a complaint against them. They must document and record everything, from previous reviews, 360-degree feedback gleaned from colleagues about job candidates, disciplinary disciplinary actions, which include warning notices, performance improvement plans, etc., and so on. It's also good to develop an employee handbook and code of conduct so you can ensure all new employees are aware of your corporate policies and procedures, as well as their rights. Small businesses with a certain number of employees are often exempt from certain labor requirements. But as you grow or take on more employees, your compliance obligations will change. In addition, state laws can supersede federal laws, so check carefully. As the business grows, you'll need to adhere to overtime laws. As your business changes, make sure that you're aware of how its legal obligations are shifting as well. And be sure to revisit employment contracts and corporate policies so the changes are clear to your staff. So, what does a company need to do if an employee feels they're being treated unfairly? There are so many factors to consider when thinking about ethical behavior in business, and we need to keep in mind not only the laws that govern our behavior, the breaking of which could cause fines, jail time, and other undesirable results, but also the ethical dilemmas that we face, in which all of our choices, both ethical and unethical, are perfectly legal. Using loopholes and clever maneuvering to cheat the system, even when many companies around you are doing the same thing, won't necessarily protect your company from liability. New laws are created all the time in response to legal, unethical behavior. For instance, the Sarbanes-Oxley Act was created in response to unethical and legal behavior by accountants. This is our works cited page. Thank you so much for watching our video on ethics in business.